Hello everyone, my name is Deeksha. I am a third year student from BMS College of Engineering in Electronics and Communication. As a part of my WebStack Academy Fullstack Web Development Internship, my project is a music player web application using MERN stack. The goal of the project is to develop a full stack music streaming web application using the MERN stack, ensure secure user authentication and audio playback while ensuring a clean, user friendly interface. The objective of the internship is to understand and implement full stack web development concepts by gaining hands on experience through the implementation of this music player project. The goal was to focus on front end and back end integration, user authentication, and development practices. The requirements of the project are displayed here. The features of the music player are as follows. The music player allows users to stream and explore music using the Jamendo platform. Songs are fetched through API calls and organized by tags such as happy, rock, relaxing, workout, and chill. Users can sign up, search music by tags, and like songs to create a favorites playlist. The player includes essential music controls like play, pause, next or previous track, shuffle, loop, increase or decrease the volume, and even adjust the playback speed. Web development is the process of building, creating, and maintaining websites, including aspects like web design, programming, and database management. It is the creation of a web application that works over the internet. Web development has two major components, the front end and the back end. The front end is the creation of user facing interfaces and deals with the layout, design, and interactivity. Frameworks like React, Angular make use of components that the user can directly interact with. The backend development is the server side part of web applications and it deals with the logic and integration with databases and making API calls. It involves storing, processing, and securing data and often uses languages like Python, JavaScript, Java, or PHP. MERNstack is a popular JavaScript based open source technology stack and it's used to build dynamic web and mobile applications. It enables full stack development using a single programming language and it comprises of MongoDB, which is a NoSQL database, Express.js, which is a backend framework, React.js, which is a front end library, and Node.js, which is a runtime environment. Let us look at an overview of the tech stack used. HTML is the standard language used to structure pages on the web. This can be used by browsers to display the content. It uses tags to define elements like headings, paragraphs, images, links, and forms, and creates the basic structure of a web page. Next, we have CSS to style and format web pages. CSS controls the appearance of the page, like colors, fonts, and positioning of the elements. It allows developers to make web pages visually appealing and consistent across different devices. JavaScript is a versatile programming language used to create interactive and dynamic experiences on the web. It allows developers to respond to user actions, manipulate data, update elements in real time, and communicate with external services or APIs. JavaScript can handle tasks and building web applications and tools. It is a core technology for web development. Next, we have React. React is a JavaScript library and it's used to build user interfaces for web applications. It makes it easier to create dynamic and interactive pages by breaking the user interface into reusable components, and each component has its own state and logic. React efficiently updates the web page whenever the data changes or whenever there is any update in one of the components, and this supports handling user interactions. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime built on Chrome's V8 engine, and it allows developers to run JavaScript on the server side. It's designed for building scalable, fast, and event driven applications. Node.js allows us to handle multiple requests at the same time, work with databases, and build full stack applications using the same language like JavaScript for both front end and back end. Express.js is a fast and minimal web framework for Node.js that helps developers build server side applications and APIs. Express.js simplifies handling HTTP requests and responses. It can enable us to manage authentication, connect to databases, and serve web pages or data to clients efficiently. It's widely used in MERN stack applications as the backend framework. MongoDB is a NoSQL database that stores data in flexible JSON like documents. This makes it easier to store complex data such as user profiles, media files such as audio or video, and application logs. MongoDB is highly scalable and allows developers to efficiently read, write, and query data, and this makes it a popular choice for modern web applications. Jamendo is an online music platform. It provides access to a large collection of music tracks and playlists for streaming. The Jamendo API allows developers to search for tracks, fetch playlists. This can help us integrate music services into applications and websites. Let's look at the design and architecture of the project. A client server architecture has been used with a clear separation between front end, back end, and database. The front end handles the UI, which is the user interaction and user input. It has been written with the help of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React components. The front end renders the components, it handles user interaction, and also manages global state using Redux. The front end manages audio playback using a custom hook. The front end also communicates with the backend APIs. The backend handles the server side logic and data persistence. It manages user authentication using JSON Web Token. This ensures that the user stays logged in even after the page is refreshed. The backend also handles secure password handling with hashing and token expiry. MongoDB is a NoSQL database and it stores user data, user favorites, and authentication related data like tokens and their time of expiration. The external services that have been integrated are Jamendo API, and this is done through the backend. Let's come to the project implementation. First, let's look at the backend development. It has certain features: user authentication and authorization. This allows users to sign up and log in securely. It protects private routes using JSON Web Tokens. Private routes are those which must not be accessible to users when they have not logged in. The user sessions are also maintained via tokens. Music streaming data. This allows the backend to fetch songs dynamically from an external music API, which is Jamendo, and it also supports playlists based on tags. Personalization. This lets the user add or remove favorite songs, and these favorites are stored per user in MongoDB. User profile management, and this can help us to edit the profile details like name, email. It can also help us change passwords securely and upload profile pictures. A password recovery system is also in place. where if the user has forgotten his or her password, he can select the forgot password option and this would send an email to his registered email ID. And along with that, a reset token is also sent, which has a certain expiration period. Following that, once the link has been clicked, the user will be allowed to reset the password. The tools and tech stack used for the backend is as displayed over here. Node.js is the JavaScript runtime, whereas Express.js is the REST API framework. MongoDB is the NoSQL database, and Mongoose is the ODM for modeling the schema for MongoDB. For authentication and security, JSON Web Token for stateless authentication, bcrypt for password hashing, crypto, which is for secure password reset tokens. Some of the external services used are Jamendo API. Like I mentioned, this allows us to fetch music tracks and playlists. ImageKit, which is for uploading avatar images. And finally, Mailtrap, which is an email service for password reset. The utilities that we've made use of are .env, which is for environment variable management, and Axios for making external API requests. If we look at the backend flow, it contains routes which defines API endpoints like login, songs, favorites, and this forwards the requests to controllers. The controllers implement the core logic such as user sign up and login, JSON Web Token generation and verification, fetching songs from Jamendo API, handling favorite songs, and to reset the password. The models make use of Mongoose schema, which stores the credentials, avatar, favorite songs, reset tokens, and expiration time to stay logged in persistently. Middleware. This handles the JSON Web Token authentication, and it also protects private routes and attaches the authenticated user to the request. The external services are, as I mentioned, the Jamendo API, ImageKit, and NodeMailer and Mailtrap. Coming to the front-end development of the project implementation, the front end is built with React and it follows a component-based architecture. If you look at the styling, every major component has its own dedicated CSS file. Tailwind CSS, which is a utility-first CSS framework, has also been used to allow us to add predefined classes directly to the elements. There is a list of songs already available, and on top we have a few categories which we can select based on our mood: workout, chill, happy, relaxing, or rock. At the top we have two options to either sign up or log in. On the left we have a sidebar which has different options like home, search, and favorite. At the bottom there is the player, which allows different music controls like play, pause, forward, go to the previous song, mute, shuffle, loop, or even select the playback speed, and also increase or decrease the volume. This is the home page of the music player. Let's look at the different React features that have been used in the project. React Router DOM, which is a standard library for implementing client-side routing in React web applications. This allows for navigation between components without requiring a full page reload. Next, we have made use of React hooks. Hooks are special functions in React that make it easier to manage state, handle side effects, and reuse logic across components. They allow React components to be simpler, cleaner, and more reusable while keeping all the logic inside functions. Some of the common hooks that are used are useState. useState stores and updates local component data. useEffect, which runs code in response to component lifecycle events like fetching the data or updating the DOM. useRef, this stores a mutable value that persists across renders, often for DOM references. And finally, we have custom hooks which can be defined by the developer. The audio component of the music player has been implemented by using a custom React hook, which is use audio player. The React Redux toolkit, which is for state management. A Redux store is used to manage global state for authentication and user interaction. It maintains user info, playlists, and the currently playing songs. This information is stored in the Redux store so that all components can access or update it consistently. Reducers are functions that update the Redux store state based on actions, and it returns the new updated state. The components use React Redux hooks like use dispatch to send actions to the reducer and use selector to read the current state that the reducer produces. This ensures that the UI always reflects the latest data. A Redux slice acts as a section of the overall Redux store state. This manages a specific feature or domain in the application. Auth slice and UI slice are the slices which are used in the project to handle user authentication data and UI state respectively. Testing. There were a few tools that were used for testing, like Postman, which is an API testing tool used to send HTTP requests like get, post, put, patch to backend APIs and view the responses. We can use it to test endpoints, verify the request data, and check authentication without needing a front end. Mailtrap. Mailtrap is an email testing service which is used to capture and inspect mail sent from an application. It allows to test features like password reset emails without sending real emails to actual users. The features tested were the backend endpoints and functionalities. They were user sign up, user login, forgot password, and reset password. To verify the creation of users, validation of user credentials, and to also test the generation of reset tokens and the password update. JSON Web Tokens returned from login or sign up are stored on the client and successfully accepted in protected routes using authorization bearer token. The protected routes like profile and favorites are designed to prevent and reject unauthenticated requests. Mailtrap, which was used for email flow verification, this was used to test the reset link which was generated, and this prompts the user to set a new password with an expiration time set for the token as 10 minutes. The password updates successfully after reset. Here we can see the successful login response which we receive from Postman when a login request has been sent. User logged in successfully, and this is a part of the message of the response received. When we're testing the reset password, a post request has been sent for the email emergency@example.com, and the message received in response is password reset email sent. A password reset mail has been sent. This link, we will be redirected to a change password page in the front end. Since we are testing without the front end over here, we had to take this token and paste it as a part of the bearer token in the authentication portion of the request. And once that was authenticated, the response was successful and the message was password updated successfully. Let's look at a small demonstration of the project. The code was developed in VS Code, which is an integrated development environment, npm run dev. And when I try to go to this link, it opens the music player web application. The web application is open now, and as I mentioned, we already have a list of songs that are displayed over here. On the top, we have a few playlist categories. workout, chill, happy, relaxing, rock, and we can select them based on our mood. We can select any song and it will start playing. Once selected, the player features can also be used. Let me select a song. So the music is playing and I can play pause. I can even move to the next song. I can also mute the song and I can unmute it as well. The shuffle option is also available. As the shuffle option was enabled, it did not go to the next song and instead went to the 10th song in the list. I can even select the loop option. Let's look at that. As the loop option was enabled, it resumed to play from the beginning once again. Let me try to change the playback speed. So the playback speed also helps us to change the speed that the music is played at. I can sign up, and this is a normal sign up procedure where I can enter my details, such as the user can enter his or her details like name, email, ID, and password. If you already have an account, I can select this option and this can help me log in. I will try to log in now. We also have an option to view the password that we have just entered. This can hide and unhide the password. I can select the login and now I am logged in. As you can see, the option has changed to log out. Now I also have an option to add this to my favorites by clicking on this heart icon over here. Let's look at the favorites playlist to check if it has been added or not. So this song has been added as a part of my favorites playlist. If I select any song from this list, it takes me to the favorites playlist. I am now in the favorites playlist, and this shows that the favorites playlist is also working. I can also search for songs, for example, guitar. A list of songs is now displayed over here. So let me try to play one of them. So the search option allows the user to search for songs based on tags. This sidebar basically helps us to navigate between the three pages: home, search, and favorites. This option is only available when we're logged in, and it can help me to change my details. I can update my name by changing this. Let's say guitar. When I save the changes, it is reflected over here as my name has changed to guitar 1. I can log out now, and this takes me to the original home page where I could either sign up or log in. I can also increase or decrease the volume. Let's try to change the volume now. We can change and increase the volume accordingly. We can do different categories based on our mood: relaxing, rock, happy, chill, and workout. And accordingly, the playlist updates based on a category that has been selected. The demonstration of the music player project. Conclusion: the MERN Stack Music Player project successfully demonstrates the design and implementation of a full stack web application with secure authentication, real time audio playback, and a responsive user interface. The backend, which is built using Node.js, Express, and MongoDB, the frontend, developed with React, offers a clean and intuitive music streaming experience. The state management is done using Redux Toolkit, and this ensures global state handling for authentication and UI control. This project highlights practical understanding of full stack development, API integration, secure authentication, state management, and front and back end communication. Further improvements can be made by adding song recommendations and mobile responsiveness. I would like to thank Webstack Academy for giving me this opportunity to complete this internship. Throughout this internship, I gained hands on skills and experience in full stack development. I am grateful for the guidance and support that I received throughout the internship, and it really helped me in my learning and growth. Thank you.